What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we are talking about farming versus crafting in the War Within. In this video I want to talk about my opinions when it comes to farming for gold versus crafting for gold, and which one you should go for. In this case, I'm going to be talking about this from my perspective. I've been doing both of these a lot in the past, and I'm just going to say when Dragonflight came out I focused a lot on farming. I do love farming for gold, like farming, finding gold farms, and then just spending a bunch of time farming in those farms. It is incredibly fun, especially when you do it in a live environment, like for example on Twitch as well, and you form groups. Like 2x4 farming is really fun, having herbalism plus mining, and even seed raids when it comes to herbalism, that's really fun, and finding the best farms in the game is absolutely really fun. But once again, crafting is also really interesting. I've been getting really into crafting in the War Within beta lately, and I'm probably going to be shifting a lot from farming to crafting this time around. I want to give crafting a real try for once and see how much gold we're able to make by crafting for gold instead of farming. Now I will be farming as well. I'll be finding gold farms, farming a bunch of gold, but instead of like I've been doing in the past where I find one farm that farm for like 20 hours and then find another one, I'm probably gonna find a farm it for 2 or 3 hours, and then move on to crafting or finding a new farm. So instead of just spending a unhealthy amount of time on the same farm because it's quote unquote the best farm or a good farm, I'm just gonna keep moving along, finding more good farms and going back to crafting as well. Now when the expansion comes out, I will be spending a lot of time setting up crafting, because crafting requires a lot of back work and a lot of setup before you start printing gold. So this kind of brings me to the first point that I want to make when it comes to crafting versus farming and who it is for, and this kind of dives into the mentality of you as a person and how you want to make your gold. Whenever you are farming for gold, you are directly trading your time for a certain amount of gold, and it's fairly safe. Most gold farms usually have a gold per hour attached to them, and that gold per hour is usually based on the materials that are dropping, and then you have some RNG items on top, like cosmetic items, world BOEs if they exist, and you have some jackpot items. But for the most part, you are getting a consistent amount of gold per hour. Let's just say you make 100k per hour, which you might make from most of the really good farms in the War Within at the start. You can make a lot of gold per hour. Let's just say 100k. When it comes to farming, it's really safe. You're trading your time for a certain amount of gold. When it comes to crafting, it's very much less safe. You are putting in a bunch of work, and you don't really know if you're gonna make profit until you start making profit. Instead of, for example, if you're farming, you can start right away trading your time for gold. You can spend 10 hours, and if you have 100k per hour, you will make 1 million gold. When it comes to crafting, you can spend the same 10 hours and make 0 gold. But when you start making gold, you can make a lot. And for example, let's just put it this way. If person 1 is farming, I'm gonna put some text on the screen as well. Okay, so person number 1 spends 10 hours farming gold, and he makes 1 million gold. Person number 2, he spends the same 10 hours crafting, but not crafting, but doing profession work, and makes 0 gold, because he has to buy materials to skill up professions, and then sell those crafted items back to make the invested gold back. And you also have to skill up your professions, you have to get knowledge points for the professions, and then you also have to make the rare quality tools. So person number 2 here, he spends 10 hours setting up professions to start making gold. After 10 hours, that person has made no gold, but person number 1 that's been farming has made 1 million gold. So far, if this was a race, person number 1 would be way ahead, and person number 2 looks like he's losing. And if you scroll ahead now to after 11 hours, the person that is farming has now made 1.1 million gold, once again assuming 100k per hour, right? But this is when person number 2 that has spent 10 hours setting up professions, he starts making and crafting for profit, and if we assume he makes 1000 gold profit per craft, and let's just say that he's crafting something with a really high sell rate, so everything sells right away, and every craft takes 3 seconds, which is usually the standard for most crafts when it comes to materials and crafting reagents at least, he will then make 1.2 million after 1 hour of crafting. So right here, right now, he's already ahead from 1 hour of crafting. Granted, he would have to sell all the materials, but so will the person that has been farming. The person that has been farming is also selling a bunch of materials. Same thing as the same thing as the one who's crafting. Now, if we go ahead even further to 12 hours, the person farming would now make 1.2 million gold. Once again, assuming 100k per hour, but the person who's crafting will now be on 2.4 million. So crafting is a lot more scalable. And the thing is, you make very little gold at the start because you spend so much time setting up professions. You make literally 0 gold. If anything, you're even spending gold. But when you start making gold, you will print. And assuming you can do that while the market is hot, you will make gold. Now, bringing this back to a real life example, this would be the difference, like farming versus crafting would be the difference between a startup company, where you are the person who's starting the company, versus a person that is employed at the company. At a startup company, even as a employee, you will have a fixed rate per hour when you're working, whether that is through getting paid every month or getting paid on an hour-by-hour basis based on the contract you have. The point is, you have a contract where you will trade your time for money. When you are the owner of that company, which in this case the crafter would be the owner of the company, you will spend your money back into the company, and you will spend time and energy making that company, developing the company, and getting the company to the point of being successful. Professions is the same. You will spend gold, time, energy into making your professions to the point of being profitable, and when it's profitable, that is when you make gold. That is when you start getting the gold back for the time you've put in, and for the investments you put in as well. Now, when it comes to what you should do between farming and crafting, once again, it depends on you as a person. If you want something that is very safe, farming is very safe. You directly trade your time for gold, and it can also be really fun. Like, usually, farming is more fun than crafting. Once again, that depends on you as a person, but for me, farming is a lot more fun than crafting. But crafting can be fun because you're testing out theories and seeing if they work and how well they work. So crafting can be fun as well, but in a different way. And for me, farming is just more actively fun, I guess. I don't really know the exact word for it, but it's just more interesting and more fun and keeps me engaged longer. Like, if I'm just crafting, I'm gonna fall asleep, but when I'm farming, I don't fall asleep. That's basically the best way to say it. So farming is more fun, more reliable, more safe. Crafting is very unsafe, and I'm just gonna say, if you're crafting, you need to have a plan. Once again, referring back to these people right here, where if the plan goes according to plan, and you make your profession successful, you can start printing gold and make a bunch of gold. But in this case, let's just say that your plan fails, and after 11 hours you still make no gold, and you suddenly realize that, like in this case, person 1 has spent 11 hours farming, and he's made 1.1 million. Meanwhile, you have spent 11 hours on professions, and you suddenly realize your plan failed, absolutely failed, and you will never make gold. Well, you are now behind 1.1 million, and you could have made 1.1 million in that time, but you just wasted that time. In this case, you need to make sure you have either a good plan that works, or several backup plans. And backup plans can be other professions you want to make work. So for example, if your main plan was enchanting, and that failed, maybe you have inscription on the side, so try that instead. Maybe you have alchemy. Just make sure you have either a good plan, or backup plans, or both. Now, when it comes to having a good plan, I'm just gonna say, this is a shout out by the way, a sellout, but if you want my help when it comes to crafting and just gold making in general, I've made a War Within Goldmaking Guide, which if you've been seeing my videos in the past, you probably know about this, but there's brand new people coming to my channel every single day. So once again, if you don't know, I have a gold making guide for the War Within, where we cover professions in depth and talk about how to spend your knowledge points to make gold with those professions, and we even have both solo gold farms and group gold farms. One of the farms I really believe will make so much gold at launch, by the way, that is in that guide, and you will have access to it at launch itself. So this is a great way to support me as a content creator and get yourself more gold in the same process. When you buy the guide, it's a one-time purchase, you get updates sent to you for free, and you also get access to a gold making Discord server where we talk a lot about gold making. There's daily discussions going on, many daily discussions going on for gold making, sharing strategies. I share my strategies, we have resources in that Discord server, and I give you guys exclusive videos and early access to videos. At the current moment of recording this, we have 3 videos in exclusive access. That means that's 3 videos I will never make public on my YouTube channel that you will have access to. We also have 1 video in early access. For example, this one right here is one of the exclusive videos that we have, which takes your gold making to the next level and will definitely help you out if you're one of those people that are looking to do crafting, for example. Then we have this one, which highlights a very specific gold making strategy that I'm planning to use at launch, which looks, well, you can see on the thumbnail, a little bit broken, if it's not nerfed. So once again, that's 2 out of 3 videos that you have exclusive access to. And once again, if you buy the guide, thank you so much. Like, your support is directly what allows me to spend so much time on the beta finding ways to make gold, and it's what allows me to spend my time making the content I want to make, instead of feeling like I have to make the content that I have to make. I can just make the videos that I wanna make. Either way, that's it for today. That's what I have for you. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and let me know in the comments, will you primarily be farming for gold or crafting for gold? Either way, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I will see you again in the next video very soon.